The group stage of a World Cup offers no time for correction. One 90-minute window can erase 4 years of preparation. Today, 8 nations step onto the pitch facing that exact reality. The initial adrenaline of the opening matches has faded, replaced by the mathematical certainty of the group tables. We have 4 fixtures on today's slate, tracking a clear escalation in pressure. It begins with absolute survival in Group A, shifts to a tactical struggle for knockout positioning in Group B, and culminates in a heavyweight battle for outright dominance. The math is unforgiving. A loss, or even a draw in these specific configurations, strips a team of their autonomy, forcing them to rely on outside results from their rivals to advance. To hold this hardware, a team has to endure the pressure of days exactly like today. Securing 3 points here is the mandatory price of admission for a chance at football immortality. We begin with a scenario where the margin for error has already vanished. Both Czechia and South Africa suffered opening match defeats. Another loss effectively ends their tournament. Czechia deploys a disciplined 4-2-3-1 shape, relying heavily on centralized defensive organization and dominating aerial battles. South Africa counters with a 4-3-3, built to absorb pressure and launch fast transitions, attacking the space Czechia leaves behind on the flanks. The tactical friction point lies at the top of the pitch. Czechia's target man, Patrik Schick, will aggressively test South Africa's center-backs in the air to create scoring chances. This fixture comes down to dictating the style of play. Expect Czechia to slow the tempo and enforce their physical will, while South Africa hunt for the open field to unleash their pace. The stakes shift slightly in Match 2. Both Switzerland and Bosnia earn draws in their opening fixtures. Earning 3 points here moves either team significantly closer to the knockout rounds. Switzerland operates as one of Europe's most consistent tournament squads. They build their identity around rigid defensive structures and rely on Granit Xhaka to dictate the match tempo from the midfield. Bosnia brings a completely contrasting philosophy. Their 4-2-3-1 setup minimizes build-up play in the center, opting instead for direct, vertical attacks and dangerous set pieces. That direct play relies entirely on finding their veteran striker, Edin Dzeko. His individual battles against Swiss defensive leader Manuel Akanji will determine if Bosnia can find the back of the net. If the Swiss can establish control over the ball and hold possession in the middle third, they will effectively starve Bosnia's front line and dictate their own path to the round of 16. Group B features a clash of 2 very different national football projects: Canada's rapid development of top-tier athletic talent up against Qatar's massive long-term investments in structured defense and technical play. Canada plays a highly aggressive 4-3-3 pressing system. They want to force turnovers high up the pitch to unleash Alphonso Davies, using his world-class speed to overwhelm defenders on the left wing. Qatar sets up to absorb exactly that kind of pressure. They utilize a compact 5-3-2 defensive block, designed to frustrate the press and quickly feed the ball to Akram Afif to launch technical counterattacks. Canada's raw pace down the left flank will constantly test the discipline of Qatar's 5-man backline, specifically their right-sided defenders. We will see if Canada's aggressive, direct attacking can physically dismantle an opponent committed entirely to holding a rigid defensive line. The heaviest fixture of the day takes place at the top of Group A. With both Mexico and South Korea holding opening wins, this match is a direct fight for outright control of the group. Mexico thrives on a ball-dominant 4-3-3 setup. Backed by an immense home continent crowd advantage, they rely on Edson Alvarez to anchor the midfield, break up opposing attacks, and recycle possession. South Korea's 4-2-3-1 is built to punish teams that hold the ball too long. They press aggressively in the middle third, waiting for a single turnover to trigger an explosive vertical transition behind a high defensive line. The Mexican defensive spine will have to maintain absolute perfection against Son Heung-min. A single lapse in concentration provides all the space he needs to alter the match. Because of these clashing philosophies, expect a wide-open match featuring the highest tempo and the most scoring chances of the day's slate. A victory here guarantees knockout qualification and signals to the rest of the field that the winner is a legitimate title contender. Looking at this live standings board, every point earned today instantly recalculates a team's path forward, shrinking the field of contenders. We expect the early window to favor the established European sides. Czechia's height should secure a narrow 2-1 victory over South Africa, while Switzerland's midfield control points to a measured 2-1 win against Bosnia. In Group B, Canada's pressing speed and sheer offensive volume should overpower Qatar's defensive block, likely resulting in a clean 2-0 breakthrough. And for the main event, the tactical standoff between Mexico's possession and South Korea's transitional speed projects as a thrilling, high-scoring 2-2 draw. Formations and predicted scores only exist on paper. Once the whistle blows, the rigid math yields to the unpredictability of human execution. That is the reality of the World Cup. Enjoy the matches!